Hi, I'm your host, Don LeBrun, State Representative, and I'm here today with Charlene Tabat of the organization Cure with Hope. And in the coming, this is our first show. In the coming weeks, we hope to have in various nonprofits throughout Nashua to speak with us about their mission, what their goal is going forward. And we will do this as long as we have nonprofits that would like to come in and speak with us. Today, as I said, we have Ms. Charlene Tabat from the organization Cure with Care, or Cure with Hope. I'm sorry, I messed up already.
It's all right.
So tell me a little about the organization. How did it get started? Why did it get started?
Okay, Cure with Hope was started by our daughter, Rebecca, after she was diagnosed in 2009 with cancer. And she was treated on the pediatric floor at Mass General Hospital. And when she was there, she had noticed that the children needed a few more toys, a few more games, a few more Wiis. And so she wanted to do something to raise money for these toys and games. So she came up with the words Cure with Hope. She designed the logo and put the cancer ribbon with the logo. And she started selling bracelets and T-shirts to raise those funds. And she actually did quite well at the time. And it was a great thing for her to work on in many ways, something positive to work on while she was going through dealing with the cancer that she had. Her friends were very supportive. Her friends, bought many bracelets, many T-shirts. And so before Rebecca died, she lost her battle with the cancer 8 months after her diagnosis. So before she had died, she asked us, her parents, if we would continue Cure with Hope. And so we have been doing that for her to keep her legacy alive. It was very important to her that the children in the hospital had these comfort items and the fun things to do while they're in the hospital dealing with things that they don't want to deal with. They want to be playing games and doing the Wii and doing Guitar Hero and having their favorite stuffed animal or even having their favorite Band-Aids or slipper socks. So the first donation was $5,000, and we actually made that donation to Mass General, and we made it to there's a group at Mass General on the pediatric floor called Angels Above, and their mission statement is basically the same as Cure with Hope's mission statement. They take care of the pediatric floor there and the children there and supply them with the toys that they want. So we did give them the first donation. That's what Rebecca wanted. And then we decided we felt that they were in good hands there. The pediatric floors were well taken care of. And so I started calling various hospitals right here in New Hampshire, even though we are not natives, but Rebecca was 7 months old when we moved here from California. And so I called various hospitals and ended up partnering with the Children's Hospital up at Dartmouth, up in Lebanon. And all of the money that we raise goes to their Child Life program there. And Child Life is the program that supplies the comfort items for the children to help make their hospital stay easier for them.
Now here's a young teenager that is diagnosed with cancer, and yet her thoughts are about what she can do to help others.
Well, she was always like that. She was the type of person that loved to be involved in many activities throughout her school years, from elementary school at Birch Hill School to Elm Street School, which was her middle school, to high school, which was Nashua High School North. Her friends meant the world to her. She would do anything for them and liked to be involved in, from music to sports to art to theater. She liked to do it all. She was also very involved at her parish, the Parish of the Resurrection in Nashua. I remember being a part of the Moms and Tots group when she was just a year old, and then she was involved in the religious education program there and took religious ed classes there and made her first communion there and was confirmed there. She was an altar server there for many years. Volunteered in Vacation Bible School there for many years. Helped in the religious ed office. So her parish was a big part of her life. Maybe because we live in New Hampshire and have family all over the United States in various parts, that it was important to her to have a parish family, a parish community. And so she was always a very caring, unselfish person. Would put her friends first before herself. And for her to see, like you said, to be diagnosed with a stage 4, very aggressive cancer, a cancer that is usually seen in people that are 50 and older, very unusual to be found in an 18-year-old. And to still recognize that the children on the pediatric floor needed a few more toys.
Yeah, that is so amazing to think that a young person, a teenager, can be that compassionate to just have other people in mind when they're suffering so bad themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
That to me is mind-boggling.
She's my inspiration now. She gives me the courage to, continue this on for her. How could I not after what she went through?
Yeah. And this happened very quickly, didn't it?
Very quickly. She graduated in June of 2009, was all excited about going on to college. She was all set to go to Assumption College. She had an awesome scholarship there. She was determined to go to college. She graduated in June. She was diagnosed in July, and 8 months later. So she fortunately, she was able to experience college just for a few weeks. The chemo that she was on, when you have stage 4 and very aggressive, they treated it very aggressively, and it just, chemo and the whole dorm situation it didn't happen. So we temporarily moved her out in hopes that maybe the next semester would work, but it just was not in the cards for Rebecca. But she was determined to give it a try, and she did.
And this organization was started actually by her wishes.
Exactly.
She wanted you to go and
exactly.
establish this organization and carry it on for her.
Exactly. Yeah, she looked right at me before she died, and she said, I want you to continue Cure with Hope. And so Rebecca passed away in March of 2010, and May of 2010, we registered with the state of New Hampshire as an official nonprofit.
As a 501c3.
And as a 501c3 also. And we have a board. Her father is the treasurer, and I'm the president, which is good. I could never be the other way.
Couldn't do it the other way.
I don't think I could manage the books as well as he does. And we have a very dynamic board. All of the board members knew Rebecca. They understand the mission, and they're very anxious and willing. And it's a volunteer position to help us, assist us in any way that they can. And as we continue to grow, we need help. So, but our mission is to help brighten a child's hospital stay, because that's what Rebecca wanted. Not to say that, research isn't important, but we want to keep it as close to her wishes. Yeah. This is what she started, and she saw a need that the children needed more things, and so that's what we continue to do.
Now you have a very special project that you call Inpatient Refresh Project.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We're very excited about that. It's actually, I believe the official name is the CHAD Pediatric Inpatient Refresh Project. And what it is, it's a $1 million project that hopefully will get started soon, and which will also take a couple of years to complete. And it's going to take place up in Lebanon on the pediatric floor. And what they plan to do is they plan to take the nurses' station, which is in the center of the floor, and move that to a more private area and make that center area a family area where the families can all sit and talk and support one another. The children can come out and play. And so I had met with them a couple of times saying that Cure with Hope is interested in helping to fund this. And they were thrilled. There's a couple other philanthropists on board that want to help as well. For a while, this project was put on hold just because of budget cuts, but it was recently approved. They actually have an architect in there, and so things are starting to happen. And so we are so excited about this. The community here in Nashua has been so supportive of Cure with Hope that it's because of them that we are where we are in such a short time, and that we're able to make a big financial commitment. And that commitment, Cure with Hope has committed to donating to this project a minimum of $75,000 over the next 2 years. And we presented the first payment of $25,000 to them at the fundraiser that we had in June at Alpine Grove. So we're a little bit, we're getting there. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I think that we can do it.
Well, tell us about your fundraisers. How do you go about establishing your fundraisers? What are your aims in your fundraising? What other sort of fundraisers do you intend to put on?
Okay, you know, we've tried a number of different things. You know, being new to all of this, one of the very first fundraisers we had was at Shorty's Mexican Roadhouse, where they would donate a percentage to us, and we had done that for just about 2 years, and so we decided to stop that one for now and to try other things. Early August, the Big One ice cream stand in Nashua, which was Rebecca's favorite ice cream place, probably everybody's favorite ice cream place.
Yes.
They had a fundraiser for us, and it was for a Saturday and Sunday, and they had raffle baskets and baked goods. The young ladies that work behind the counter donated their tips to Cure with Hope willingly.
Wow.
And we made $5,000 at that fundraiser. So what is starting to happen, which is really exciting, is that businesses are approaching us and asking us or saying that they would like to do a fundraiser for us, which is wonderful. Like at the Big One, I kept asking them, what do you want us to do? And Jean and Gary are the owners, and they said, you just bring your Cure with Hope merchandise, talk to people about Cure with Hope and its mission, sell some merchandise, and we'll do the rest. And they did. They did. So it was a wonderful weekend. Mother Nature didn't really cooperate. It was kind of rainy, but we were under
nobody noticed.
No, you can eat ice cream in the rain. You know, you can eat ice cream in the snow. The weather didn't stop.
Now you also have various products that are available on your website.
We do. We have, you know, the bracelets, and we have T-shirts.
I believe things started with the bracelets. Am I right?
Yes.
Didn't Rebecca design the bracelet?
Yes, yes, the bracelet, and there were 2 different shirts that she designed. At this time, they're not on the website. We're probably going to bring those original ones back for like a special occasion. But after Rebecca died, her friend said Cure with Hope has to have a tie-dye shirt because she loved tie-dye. And so we have a purple tie-dye shirt. There's a little story behind each T-shirt, which I'd like to share.
Sure.
So the purple one was the first one. And then, because Rebecca went to Nashua High School North, I asked David Ryan, the principal, would it be okay if I sell some of the merchandise in the T-Stop there, the little store? But I didn't feel quite comfortable walking into Nashua High School North with a purple shirt, because that's South's colors. So that's how the blue tie-dye shirt came about. And then her friends, you know, said, oh, you have to have a hoodie, and you have to have this. It's pretty much endless what you can put the logo on. We don't really want to have a Cure with Hope store, but it is a good way to advertising to get the word out. So we do have sweatshirts, and we have the polo shirts. We've got a couple other things. We have the stuffed bears, which are
beautiful.
The bear was Rebecca's idea, and unfortunately she didn't get to see him, but she wanted, you know, every child to have, everybody in the hospital should have a stuffed bear. And those actually are very popular, especially around holiday time. You can purchase one, and then I box them up and I send them up to Chad. So, you know, and all the merchandise can be purchased right on the website, right? It's PayPal on the website there.
Right, I was looking at that today, and there is an extensive array of products that you can buy on there, and everything just is beautiful.
Thank you.
And you know, sometimes we tend to underestimate our young people, and I guess we should listen to them a little bit more than we tend to.
Right.
And they can be so inspiring, and actually teach us more than we can teach them sometimes.
Absolutely. You know, when she was going through her battle, she never once said to me, "Why is this happening to me?" She never once said that to her father. She just, you know, we just took one day at a time. That's really pretty much all you can do as a parent. You stay hopeful, you stay positive. She had wonderful care at Mass General. She couldn't have had better care. She just kept a positive attitude, and she always felt that everything happens for a reason. You know, and even when, you know, we were all there when she died, she had incredible courage, which is very humbling. So,
you had, at one time, you expressed some concern as to how you would tell Rebecca's story. How did you come to a conclusion as to how you would present the story to people?
Her story?
Her story.
Well, I think at one point, you know, I didn't want it to sound like, you don't want it to sound like the cancer wins.
You don't want it to be sad.
Right, right. But I think she, you know, she knew, she had said, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, and she was fine with that, and to be at peace with that at the age of 19,
Amazing.
what a blessing that was.
Unbelievable.
So
such an extraordinary young lady.
Proud to share her story with anyone that will ask.
She at one time said, and I'll quote, she said, "God has a reason. It's meant to be." She was very peaceful with it all.
Yeah. She always had that attitude about anything in life, that everything happens for a reason, and you know, I can get through this. We can deal with this. She had, you know, the support from her family and friends. She had a wonderful boyfriend at the time that loved her dearly, and probably still does love her, and I think that made a big difference. She was blessed to experience such true love like that at a young age. She had a lot of people supporting her. Even in the hospital, either myself or Martin, her dad, was there with her the whole time. You know, if we were both there, and our son as well, you know, went to all her chemo appointments, we were, you know, you stay very close as a family.
Can you tell me what it's like when a diagnosis like this is first presented to the family? What does the family go through?
I will probably never forget that day, because she was at Mass General on the pediatric floor, and it took a while to get the definite diagnosis. I think the oncologist pretty much figured maybe a lymphoma or leukemia because of her age. And just the look on the oncologist's face when she came, I saw her coming, you know, down the hall to let us know. I'll never forget that look on her face. You know, I knew, and I believe I said something to Martin that this isn't going to be good, and it wasn't good. And in fact, it wasn't what they had expected either. And then, with it being a cancer that is usually not seen in an 18-year-old. And so I remember, we all, cried and hugged her, and, then we just, we'll get through this. We'll do whatever we need to do. You've got great doctors here, and she had a strong attitude. I can fight this. I can do this.
Now, was she confined to the hospital for a lengthy period, or was it
No.
sort of an outpatient?
No, it was outpatient. In the beginning, her chemo appointments were outpatient at Yawkey Center, and they were every 2 weeks. But they were pretty heavy-duty chemo. I remember her going home with a pump because one of the infusions was a 48-hour infusion. And so, I've learned, I could probably be a nurse now, the things that I learned to do for her during her care. But it wasn't until the end as the, cancer just wouldn't stop. They were able to knock it down 75%, but that's not good enough when it's a stage 4 and as aggressive as it was. And so as it got, towards the end, she was in the hospital more and more. She had a lot of issues with fluid, fluid around the heart, fluid around the lungs. So that was very difficult. That was probably the most difficult, is to see what the disease can do to someone so young and vivacious and alive. But, I look at pictures of her. We have some pictures of her. She celebrated her 19th birthday in the hospital. So that was February of 2010. And even though it took a toll, the cancer took such a toll on her body, her smile is the same. So cancer can't take that from you.
Such a beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
Very beautiful young lady. I thank you for coming in and sharing your story with us.
You're very welcome.
And is there anything you would like to say about the organization going on from here, and how people can contact you, how they can donate?
Sure. If people want to find out what we're doing fundraiser-wise, if they're interested in any of the merchandise, if they want to make an online donation, all that information is on the website, which is just curewithhope.org. Her story is on there. The Telegraph newspaper did a couple beautiful articles.
I've read the article the Telegraph did.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Those are on there. All the information that you would want to know is right on there. Our P.O. box is on there. We have an email address, so it's all on the website.
And what is that email address?
That is curewithhope@gmail.com.
Okay. I thank you very much.
Okay.
It's been
You're
a
very
pleasure
welcome.
speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
The best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for our first show. As I stated at the beginning, we do intend to call in certain or regular nonprofit organizations from around Nashua. There are so many, and they all have a story to tell, and we will be interviewing each and every one of them as we go forward. Again, I'm your host, Don LeBrun, State Representative. Thank you for listening.